but I do like the 2018 Optic Hollow, and I feel that that is a really good gold standard for Josh Allen.
Extending, and able to find Stephon Diggs.
It's gold. It's gold, baby. Gold is hot. Gold is hot.
Anything with there's a winner or a loser. It's Hurts going for the end zone. It's caught.
And I love the 2004 Topps design right here, man. This 2004 Topps Chrome, that same rookie year as Larry Fitz. I guarantee you someone would reach $130 on this Gabe Davis if he puts up another game in a primetime scenario. We talked about the first Thursday night game against the Rams. Gabe Davis goes off for anything like he did in the AFC Championship game. Are you kidding me? Of course, they're going to reach for this card.
Fires it into wide open. Remarkable. Touchdown. Buffalo.
Right now, his 2018 Optic Hollow is $125 raw compared to Josh Allen's at $500. That's a big difference there, Steve, considering that Lamar Jackson had the season that he did.
Lamar Jackson pocket collapsing. He's going to dart. He's going to run inside the 5. Jackson in for the touchdown. Oh, kind of quick by Lamar Jackson.
I know that that's your boy, so I had to share.
Heck yeah, man. The Mississippi mustache, dude. I'm going to be looking for him in like the 20th round of this draft.
Bushu with time, directing traffic. Now fires middle of the field. First down, Jacksonville.
Brady only has like 135 different rookie cards made for him, whereas Patrick Mahomes has close to 2,000.
He throws this ball from his shoestring around the guy. That's what
Look at Tua now climbing up in the past 7 days. His growth in buy it now, sold volume in graded cards on eBay is up 70%.
By the New England team. Tua first and 10 going deep. And what a catch is made by Waddle.
And with Rookie Ticket Auto, there's fewer cards in this set for Joe Burrow.
And now he fires downfield to Jamar Chase. He's got it. Wow. Takes all the way.
It's a first down. We got 1:20 seconds left. Y'all boys gonna play Madden?
It's numbered out of 25. 25 out of 25. It's Gronk doing the Gronk spike. Signature moves. Look how sick that is.
Got it for the touchdown.
T-minus 1 minute.
More juice for the gyro.
Like the juice.
T-minus 50 seconds.
Now, at the point where we're at, it is a lot easier for new people to get up to speed really quick.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Let's go.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
T-minus 30 seconds.
Tyreek Hill taking over our camera. I think there may be a penalty for excessive celebration, but you know what? I'm going to let that one slide.
T-minus 20 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. Now y'all have some fun.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Take a deep
4,
breath.
3,
This is it right
2,
here.
1, 0.
It's Thursday night, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to the Football Card Quest, where we talk football cards, collecting, investing all day, every day. Steve is looking aerodynamic AF. What's good, man?
Oh man, sweating to the not even the oldies. We're sweating to the newies and to some football chat. It is hot in Illinois today. I don't know about you. It's probably hot in Florida, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, man. It is hot, but we got the AC turned down tonight. Guys, dude, we have an incredible discussion tonight because this gentleman we have in the house with us tonight right here is one of the premier Quest members. Let me just tell you a little bit about this man's skill position collection. We're going to talk to him about skill position players because he's got one of the best skill position collections that I've ever seen, man. We're talking about Jonathan Taylor, the clear number one overall running back right now in the NFL. What's good, Sean?
How we doing? Yes, it's a collection that's gotten out of hand very quickly. I do have some nice JT cards. Maybe we can show some later if we have time for it. But yeah, thanks to you guys, now it's not just JT. It was a lot easier when it was just Jonathan Taylor, right? Because I'm just looking at one guy. I'm following one player's prices. In fact, I was like so dialed in at one point, like I knew like specific sets, like what they would ballpark for, like of his cards alone on a daily basis, maybe like what they were selling for. I was watching it that closely. Now I've started to spread myself out a little bit, maybe a little too thin because I'm having a hard time tracking all the guys that I have now. But I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting for the season to start. I'm way too pumped for the NFL season this year.
Absolutely.
That's good to hear, man. Yeah, we've got some topics we want to dig into tonight. And of course, if you guys are out there in the chat, please drop your snipes. You got some live snipes. We'll pull up some eBay here in a little bit. If you got some questions for Sean, Steve, or myself, drop them in the chat.
I do. I'm a fan.
I am really curious, Sean. Like, I mean, your Jonathan Taylor collection is impressive, guys. You can follow at Jonathan Taylor Cards on Instagram.
On IG,
on IG.
Throw your boy the follow. I haven't posted in like a month because I was like getting ready for the Spain trip. Then I took the Spain trip, but the buying has like not stopped whatsoever. Like I came home and I had maybe like 20 packages, though. Like of all those, maybe like 5 were Jonathan Taylor at the time. So, like, as you know, Andy, like, DeAndre Hopkins was, like, another guy that I was, like, really big on, right? So, like, I, like, loaded up on some of his nice, like, Cardinals cards that I really liked. The problem was that I thought that they were in Hard Knocks preseason. Turns out they're in Hard Knocks in season. So, like, my DeAndre Hopkins theory out the window. I don't think he's going to get much TV time. I mean, maybe off the field, like you'll see him in the building and stuff, but that's probably one that I regret buying so early. Though, like the entry point is everything, like you always talk about, and I think I got in low enough where it's not so much of a concern because I bought it right after like he got announced to be suspended 7 games, so like that was probably close to the bottom.
Yeah, I have a. So when you were talking about investing in DeAndre Hopkins, are you investing in his rookie cards or are you investing in cards of him and his Cardinals gear?
So it's all like Cardinals related stuff. So I got like his peacock. I got like the stained glass from Mosaic. The honeycombs are gorgeous. This one I wanted to break, but it's a red laser and it's like a cool card. So I don't, like. This is kind of the stuff I've been going after. Like this is the regulators insert. So basically going for, and I think average price on everything in here was like anywhere from $35 to $40. So I'm not like too concerned with like, will I be able to move it? Because he's going to come back. They're going to make the playoffs. And I think they're going to make a run, though. I guess we'll see more as the season goes on, but I think the Cardinals are like top to bottom, they're a good team. Granted, they have some off-season drama with the Kyler Murray contract. Like, I don't know. As soon as he signs that pen to paper and he gets paid, like I know they're probably going to pay him, all that goes out the window, and then they become a conversation of, oh, like, are they going to win a Super Bowl? So, yeah, like, I like the Cardinals as a team this year. I'm high on them.
Yeah, I think Steve and I both are as well. I see a comment here in the chat from Patrick McPherson. Wants to see the JT Jules. Real quick before we do that, I do.
I got him around.
You got him around. That's good, man. That's good. I want to shout out to some of these guys in the chat. We got Carter in the chat right here. Got our man from Power Hour LSU.
Who's floating? Am I floating?
We got third and long. There you go. There's a shot. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Got Derek Richard. I think Derek, he normally invites his good buddy Gabe Davis. Can't have a live stream without Gabe Davis anymore.
Absolutely love it.
ADP is just climbing, man. I mean,
we gotta get Gabe. We gotta get Gabe into the Discord.
Yeah,
or maybe have him on the show one night.
Oh yeah, why not? A little face reveal for Gabe Davis.
We got Billy T in the house. I just recently learned that Shant is he's a beer schnob, so he's got his craft beer there.
I'm a beer degenerate. There's a
beer
difference.
Degenerate. There's a difference.
I'll drink it all. I have no biases, though. I do like a nice IPA.
We got LOB Roses in the house. We got Messiah MVP. We got Stephen Cummings. We got Matt Stee, FB Cards. We got Chris Con 7, Bob Graff. We shout out Patrick, Bush Leaguers, Drew Churchill. Gabe says, sign me up. Just put your social and credit card information, everything right in the public chat, Gabe. Mike Ham, my fellow tampon here in the area. So I am curious, at what point did you start investing? Or I guess I should step back. Are you primarily a collector or investor? Like, how do you kind of associate yourself?
I would say collector first, and like recently converted flipper / I don't know how you want, like my JT cards. Aside from maybe like a handful that I'll sell to like buy into like another one that I may be chasing that might be like, you know, something I like more. So, but aside from that, I don't usually I don't sell JT cards. Like I think aside from like the trade I made with James, like I don't think I've sold a single Jonathan Taylor card actually.
Really?
No, I've never sold one. Now that I'm like really thinking about it, no.
When did you start buying John? Like, when was the first time you bought a Jonathan Taylor card?
Like towards the end of his rookie year. Like I think towards the end of his rookie year, he had a couple games where he like popped off, and I knew about him from New Jersey. So he's from Salem, which is as south as you can go in New Jersey. But I went to school at TCNJ. Right. So, and I played football there my freshman year, and then not so much after that. Hats off to the athletes out there. It's a full-time job, and they're not paying. Well, at the time they weren't paying you $1, so not worth my time. And yeah, so I knew about them all along. My brother played at Bergen Catholic, so a lot of like guys that end up playing at D1 schools and such. So I knew about a couple kids going to Rutgers. He was supposed to go to Rutgers, right? And I knew about him. I watched some of his Max Preps highlights, and like I was like, oh, this kid's like really good, right? And I was hoping maybe like the next Ray Rice at Rutgers type good. He decided to go to Wisconsin, probably for the betterment of his career, because he crushed it out there. And then he ended up on the Colts, and the Colts, you know, my old PC was Peyton Manning, like in high school, and then even going back to like middle school. Huge Peyton Manning. Like anytime I could find a Peyton, I still have my binder over there. I could grab it. I have some nice old school Manning cards, but
nice.
They're in like terrible condition because like when I was a kid, all you had was like the binders, and when you take them in and out of the binders, believe it or not, those corners are toast. So a lot of my Peyton cards are not in great shape, and the ones that were in great shape, I ended up selling or trading. into other cards that I ended up selling, and then dumped all that into JT. I had a lot of his college cards at one point, transitioned all of that into pro uniform stuff because I'm still kind of bitter about the whole Rutgers thing. Yeah. Not that like I'm like a diehard Rutgers fan or anything, but like, it would have been cool to like go see a game while the team is good versus like they're the laughing stock of yeah.
So are those forever holds, the JTs, or is that
so
holds for
I
now?
say forever holds. But there are cards that like if he has like another 5 touchdown game, I would be stupid like not to sell it on that insane like spike, right? Because I'll be able to buy some of them back cheaper than I would let them go for. So those I would let go. But like
so everybody does have their price.
They do, yeah.
$1 million down.
I mean, come on. All right, so like I'll give you an example of one I would sell. I have a light blue prism. It's raw, right? I think it's decent centering, but like top to bottom, it's closer to the top than it is to the bottom. I think it would probably get a 9, just off the centering issue. Everything else looks good. I would sell that card raw, like if it went up to like I don't even know, like 120 or something like that. Like I would let it go because I could probably buy it back for 75 or like $80 on the way down, or buy like a graded copy for the 120 later when the hype dies down again. So I do have like, you know, reasonable price points, but then I have cards that like I would never sell, right? So this is a second year card I wouldn't sell, and it's this one.
Oh, very nice.
National Treasures, red, white, and blue. I believe this one's number 2 out of 13, right? And then
it looks beautiful.
And like it pairs up nicely with this one, which is 1 out of 20. So like this is like a little twin combo that I would never sell these. Like I don't know. I'm sure there's like numbers out there where I would have to like be like, damn, like do I sell it? Do I not sell it? But I don't know. Money isn't everything. I know that when we first started buying cards, you weren't ripping packs to be like, oh, like how much am I gonna get for this card? You know, like you kind of did it because you liked looking at this stuff. And yeah, that's kind of where I stand. Everything I buy, I consider a sunk cost. Like if I can get money or make a profit on it, great. But like you say all the time, I don't put my rent money into sports cards. Though I do know some people that do, and they leverage themselves pretty hardly. I know people that like max out credit cards buying sports cards, knowing that they would probably be able to flip it in 30 days and pay their bills off, which is like insanity to me. I don't know how people can like live with that stress, but
yeah,
each their
risky
own, I
proposition.
guess. Risky, very risky, very risky. But
So
yeah,
do you have any tips for people that want to collect running backs? We got a question here from our man Carter.
Don't collect good running backs.
When you say don't collect running backs,
don't collect the ones that like explode and then end up becoming the number 1 draft. Like, don't be me and buy McCaffrey like when he's going number 1 overall. Because at the end of the day, I don't know. I do think his prices will come back down to earth. Like if this year, let's just say Javonte Williams or Austin Eckler is the RB1 in fantasy this upcoming year, they will probably usurp Jonathan Taylor in rookie card pricing. Like I'm not like absolutely oblivious to that fact, but I don't know, there's also the chance that he rushes for 2,000 yards or whatever, and then he's like Derrick Henry status. And I wasn't following Derrick Henry's prices, but like I can imagine during that like boom period that his prices were like pretty monstrous, like probably close to QB money, I would assume, like when he was like really killing it.
Just before the draft this past year, his 2016 Prism was trading for around the same as Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I mean, but Dak Prescott is like disrespected in the hobby for some reason. I feel like people got burned on him when he was a rookie, and now they're like super suspect to buy back in or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's some charts out there where his cards are literally like nosedive into zero. Yeah, but I have Dak. I like Dak.
So Steve and I have talked a little bit about this quarterback. He's going into his second year. He's on a team that's like got a super low Vegas win odd this year, and that's Davis Mills on the Houston Texans. And I want to get your take. This is actually a question from our show sheet here. This is let's see. This is from JP on the YouTube community page. Would love to get your thoughts on Davis Mills. Did he exceed expectations for the 67th overall pick?
Okay.
And you had an interesting take on this, Sean, and I want you to share that with everybody.
Okay. So I don't know. His question said, did Davis Mills outperform the 67th overall expectations? I would say yes, and then some, right? Like, based on where he was drafted, he was supposed to be a nobody. I don't even think he was supposed to touch the field, right? Like, based on where he was drafted, maybe a couple opportunities, but probably supposed to be a backup, right?
Yeah.
He showed spurts of playing well, right? People like hang their hat on that Patriots game. You mentioned it to me, right? And I proposed like a little devil's advocate scenario where, let's just say you're a New England Patriot and you're going to play the 2-14 Texans in Houston. Houston, fun city. So I would imagine you're probably going to go out. You're probably going to have a good time with your teammates. And you're probably not going to perform your best on Sunday because you underestimated the Houston Texans. And I think that's probably what happens. Like, I don't know. Like, yes, he can sling it. He has a very nice deep ball, but I don't think the Texans are very good. Like, and that division has the Colts in it, right? I think they're probably going to win the division. They made, like, the biggest leaps and bounds. Right under them, you have the Titans. And then I guess right behind them is where I would probably put the Texans. And so, yeah, the prices some people are paying for Davis Mills rookie cards, I could go and I got myself a Marcus Allen game used exquisite patch auto.
Oh.
Now, which one would you rather own? A Hall of Fame running back, arguably one of the best ever, or the unproven 67th overall pick who happened to outperform his stock? Like, I don't know. To me, it's a no-brainer. Like, I think there are better places to put your money right now than, like, Davis Mills.
Yeah,
like,
but
Jackson, are you kidding me? Right there, bottom right. He's, like, in the background. It's like a calling card almost. On our little backdrop. There's a Lamar Jackson rated rookie. I'm looking at his silver prism. Like, I see a lot of upside on that card. You could pick up you could pick up a PSA 9 for like $500 right now. That seems like a pretty good value.
So much upside. Steve, has your stance on Davis Mills changed at all in the past several weeks, and what do you see?
You know, not in the last several weeks, but I mean, we've mentioned this before. When the season started, we all had our inside jokes. You know, somebody in our fantasy league was rolling them out there the first couple times during the year, and you know, we kind of gave them a hard time about that. But here's the thing: is and a lot of people, maybe if they're only collecting football, aren't aware, but prospecting is big money, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone wants the next guy that's going to blow up. And I know you made the Lamar comparison, and I agree that you could say Lamar's cards are underpriced because of where they were. But what people usually go for is the ascent and not the descent, which is why you've seen a drop in Kyler cards, Dak cards, Lamar cards, etc. Yeah. Whereas, Davis Mills did get drafted a lot later. But guess who got drafted around the same time as he did? That's Russell Wilson, right? And Russell Wilson's stats are very comparable to his stats in his first season, almost yard for yard. But here's what people remember about Davis Mills, and that's, what do they remember about the NFL? It's the what have you done for me lately, right? So what's everyone's last memory of Davis Mills? That would be January 9th against Tennessee. 70% completion, 301 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good, right? And that's what people are going to remember, but that's not even the whole picture. He only threw 3 interceptions since October 31st. and his completion percentage was just over 70. So he wasn't blowing people up every game, but he was playing really good. And like you said, when you exceed expectations, I think that he vastly exceeded expectations. And he wasn't playing with a great lineup, and he was forced to be miraculous at times when they have no defense. The offense is always out there. And one more thing, they had 0 running backs that could do anything. And now they kind of do. They have fresh
Marlon Mack.
So I don't think they're going to go out there and win the division. Definitely not. The Colts have that and some, but they do have the opportunity to surprise people even furthermore this year. And I think that's where people are paying the money because, like I said, you look at late round quarterbacks that have impressed. You have, none other than Tom Brady is the most obvious one, right? But then you have Kirk Cousins. You have Dak Prescott. You have a lot of guys that got drafted his position or even much later, 4th round for Kirk Cousins, 4th round for Dak. So
you make great points.
People see this and they're like,
yeah,
this could be a diamond in the rough.
So I have a follow-up question with you. It's obvious like the 2022 quarterback class has been very weak from a draft pedigree perspective. The only quarterback taken in the 1st round was Kenny Pickett, and then the rest of the guys slid to the third round and later. So do you think that and this goes in line with James' question here, putting out some eBay snipes in the chat. So shout out to James. But do you think that the hobby would view the 2021 quarterbacks more like Daniel Jones than Lamar Jackson if the 2022 quarterback class was a lot stronger? Like, do you think that Davis Mills has more hype coming into this year because the 2022 class is so weak?
Yes. Well, partially. But I think what Steve said does make sense. He outperformed. And originally, like, I thought it was a lot of sharp money. Like, I don't know, I'm bringing that kind of over from the betting / finance world, whatever. Like, I think the sharp money was hopping on Davis Mills early, and I think now the sharp money is unloading their Davis Mills throughout the offseason. Now, you're going to be like, why are you saying that? They play week 1, they play the Colts. Maybe he could surprise some people, but I think that defense is really good, and it's going to give him problems. I'm biased, though. Then they're playing the Broncos. I think that's a loss. The Bears, okay, maybe they win that game, but then the Chargers. So right now we're talking, 1-3 record? I can't see that being good for his card prices.
No. Here's the thing is if you look at all the good or better quarterbacks from 2021, they all have rough schedules.
They do. So
and his is probably the worst. I mean, I still think the Texans maybe only win 4 games, and that maybe could be pushing it. You have to play the Colts twice. Starting your season against the Colts is not favorable. You definitely don't want that.
No, but the Colts, here's a tidbit for you. They typically lose week 1 games. Think about last year. I forget. I think they played the Seahawks, and they were supposed to beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks were not that good last year. They got, smacked week 1. So, I don't know what it is with the Colts, but, they break my heart week 1. I come out here with high expectations, and I get let down. But then again, I don't think Jonathan Taylor wasn't the starting running back week 1. So,
and you have Matty Ice, and I know that there's a 50-50 split at least. The people that think that he's toast, I don't. He's not a mobile quarterback, really, and when you're running for your life and you're not a mobile quarterback, you don't have much of an offensive acumen when you can't get rid of the ball. So, if he has time to throw the ball, I think he's going to impress a lot of people because he's got time. He's got a lot left in the tank.
And he's also not stupid. Think about all the self-infliction that Carson Wentz did to himself, rolling out of the pocket when all he had to do was throw it out of bounds. First down, nothing there, throwing out of bounds. This guy is just running around like a headless chicken, throwing the ball pick 6 in his own end zone. I was mind blown. But yeah, I don't think Matt Ryan makes mistakes like that. And he's also an MVP. He also made it to a Super Bowl. That's the kind of quarterback I think the Colts needed to get over whatever hump it is. I plan on seeing them in the playoffs this year. So I guess we'll see what happens,
So that brings me to this question that I think you differ from what I've historically been really good at, and that's targeting rookie cards. And we talked about this before. You talked about how if there was a card of Matt Ryan holding up a Colts jersey with his 2 kids that you
With
would
his 2 kids, I would buy it.
you would buy
That's a
it,
cool
like,
card.
and you would pay a premium for it, but there's nothing in the marketplace. Panini's is so like delayed. They take forever to get cards out in the market, especially on players on new teams. I want to talk about this topic. I feel like this is a very important topic. It's a big thing going on right now, and there's a big hole I think in our market, and that's the difference between rookie card, uniform cards, or present team cards. Sean, help us out here, man.
Okay. So there's a lot of people that I feel like this is probably one of the more polarizing topics out there, right? Some people are like diehard rookie card fans. Like, it doesn't matter. I want a rookie card, right? And I understand, fine. But, like, let's be realistic. I want wherever the body of work was the most successful, right? That, to me, defines what the player is. Now, if we're talking about flipping, you're playing on the emotions of the current fan base. And what's better than having the guy in the team's uniform, right? Like, yes, rookie cards are cool, but would you rather have like a rookie card or the current player card serial number to like 25? They're probably going to sell for like similar numbers, and it's because they're, I think, equally desirable, right? And so I think there's different angles to it. And I think it depends. Like, someone like Julio Jones, for example, like, he was a beast on the Falcons, and Matt Ryan was a beast on the Falcons as well. I think those cards will intrinsically like hold their values, just like whatever. No matter, even if Matt Ryan doesn't end up being that great for the Colts, he's probably going to get in the Hall of Fame, right? So just based off that fact alone, those cards are going to hold some type of value. I don't know if Julio Jones is a Hall of Famer, but I feel like he should be, right?
Oh, yeah, he's a lock.
So his rookie cards will hold value, but like had Julio done something with the Titans last year, I would say that his Titans cards would be equally as valuable to his Falcons cards.
Man, that's so interesting. And I just wish that there was a better way for Panini to get those cards into the market, like Panini Instant, like whatever you got to do. I think they should serial number, like it can't be Topps print on demand type thing. You know,
they should do e-Topps. Like, you guys remember that from the mid 2000s, e-Topps? Yep. I still have like a bunch of them.
Get out of here.
I still have a bunch of these.
So have you been collecting nonstop since like the late 90s, or when did you?
I guess I would just go on eBay and like buy cards that I liked, right? So like Peyton Manning was one of my favorite players. I was an EMT in high school, and the department that I was volunteering for had a stipend check that was far too large to be giving to a 16-year-old kid. And so what did I do? I just went and I bought all this like stuff that I thought was cool when I was 16. Obviously, you know, probably not the coolest stuff to be doing, but like, I don't know, man. They just like, this is like a Peyton Manning e-Topps card, and they were all numbered.
Was nice.
Yeah, and they're all numbered, like 88 out of 849. So the print run is kind of ridiculous. But I would bet you that most of these cards are like thrown away, stashed away. Like, who knows? Like, that isn't a pop 849 to me. Like, there's no way that many of them exist. This one I think I bought off eBay, if I'm not mistaken, but it's from an event. You know, like another cool little refractor look of like Peyton.
Yeah, it's got some Flair showcase to it.
Yeah, you got like a little Super Bowl card. I love it. They probably stole the elephant print cards from this design back in the day. Kind of hard to tell, but there's like elephant print kind of thing going on here. But my personal favorite was the team cards.
Oh, wow. Check that out.
Like that.
Yeah, like this nice big Colts logo, Peyton, Reggie, Marvin. Yeah, you got the crew over here. So, and this one had Edge on it. So extra special to me because I loved him.
And you're big on game worn memorabilia in the cards versus like a player or no specific event. and a lot of that stuff is from the late 2000s, right?
So I am, yeah. So let me pull, I guess, some of them out. I actually got one in today. Where'd it go? So yeah, these are some that I shared with the group. I'll pull them out now. But little Ladanian Tomlinson exquisite little game used patch.
Very nice.
2 out of 25. They're both Hall of Famers. We'll keep it going. This one, probably not as valuable, though I paid more for this one than the other one, if I'm not mistaken. But this one has Deuce McAllister and Willis McGahee on it. And all three, 2-colored patches. There's like some dirt on these two. I'm sure this one's dirty, but you can't really tell. And this one's out of 15, so probably why I paid more for it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm kind of like a hypocrite in this sense, where I said I hate like horizontal cards, but then some of them just like speak to you. You know, like these are just like gorgeous cards. I don't know whether horizontal, vertical. Like I don't think it really matters. These are just the right way to make cards. It's basically flawless, but take the white and replace it with like a goldish background, almost like an old gold, and black. Yeah, I don't know. They're very condition sensitive, but gorgeous cards. I got Aikman. Look at how dirty this patch is, dude. Numbered 1 out of 50. I paid $50 for this. I don't know, like I am willing, and it kind of looks like the number 10 now that I'm holding it up like this.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, so, it wasn't taken at a photo op then, right?
No. And I don't know, like they all say game used on the back, and I don't even need to see that given how dirty it looks, right? Yeah. Like Antonio Gates, this one actually has like some eye black or something on it from when he got tackled, or maybe some dirt with like a grass stain, but yeah, like they just don't make cards like this anymore. They just don't.
They really should, though, and I think it kind of takes away from. It takes away a lot from the, like, from it being special. You know what I mean? A mem card, it should be like from a specific game, from a specific something series, you know, or it was like part of the jersey he was given on stage, like when he was drafted, right? Something like that would be unique.
Anything except like the non-explanation they give you on the back. Like at least I appreciate when they're like, this patch is not from anything at all, right? And it's like no event or game or anything. I'm like, all right, sweet. Like I appreciate it, but like the player worn ones, those throw me for a loop, man, because they look like they just cut up a bunch of jerseys and stuck them in. And I think they're like trying to avoid a lawsuit or something. So now they're changing the verbiage on the back. Like, I don't know.
Man, that is wild, dude. I mean, like if I could go back, like, yeah, I definitely want to get some of those Upper Deck exquisite cards. Steve, do you have any of those?
No, don't jump on my market, dude. I want to let me buy all the ones I'm looking at.
I actually linked it in the Discord. Let me see if I could pull it real quick while you guys are talking. I actually picked one up this week, indirectly in relationship to this conversation. But if you guys remember the Cincinnati Bengals during the Carson Palmer era,
I do.
It was Chad Ochocinco, right? Everyone knows that guy, one of the biggest mouths in all of football, but he could back it up. Absolutely. And then there was this guy, a lesser known name, but he won me and a lot of people a lot of money in fantasy football, and that is TJ Hushmanzada.
Yeah, you sent me this card. I think it's gorgeous.
I mean, they're just beautiful cards. They're thick. I mean, honestly, the corners are in incredible shape. It's numbered out of 20.
Get it graded. If the corners are in good shape and the centering is good, get it graded. Because those cards, from what I can see, like from other Gem Mint 10 exquisites I've looked at, they're somewhat lenient on the surface, right? Because it is a tough card to like really screw you on the surface for, because it is like super matte and it's an old set. But the corners are the important part. Like if the corners and the edges have like minimal to no whiting, you have a very good chance at like a 9 or a 10. And that immediately jacks up the value, which I hate. I hate that grading cards public service announcement. I hate that grading cards makes them super more expensive. I feel like a card should be worth what a card is worth. Especially like serial numbered or autograph stuff where it's like, you know, you can kind of tell with the condition whether or not you get a discount at the price or not, like on the price of the specific card. So I think like if you have like a card that's numbered to 5 and there's like a PSA 9 copy that's sold for this, oh, yours is raw, like it shouldn't sell for as much. Like I don't think that's fair, because it's a card that's numbered to 5. You're probably never going to see another one, right? So like I think each transaction should be unique / individual, like not necessarily related to too much to like what the grade is per se.
I don't think
maybe that's a polarizing take.
On a card that rare, though, I don't think it takes away from the value versus enhances the value, right? Like, you know, unless it's like I linked the Brian Edwards rookie ticket auto in the Discord that it looked like a dog had actually chewed on it. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I mean, I don't know that I've seen a card in this kind of condition before. The corners actually were like in, like something ate it, but the signature was all right and the photo was still there, right? So it was like, all right, well, am I paying for a sticker auto of Brian Edwards or a card at this point? So it didn't even sell with like, I think it was like a $2 bid. It didn't even sell, honestly. So, but yeah, I think the grade just enhances. If you have a card out of 5, you're going to have 4 8s or 3 8s, 3 9s, and maybe 1 or 2 10s. Depends on how old the card is. So naturally, if there's only 1 10, like maybe a super collector's going to pay more for it.
Okay. Let me like drill down into like a more deeper example, right? So like there is so like a Jonathan Taylor tie-dye card that I've been chasing, right? I saw one get bid up to like $400 something, right? In a PSA 9 slab. And then there was a raw card that was buy it now for $340. And I watched it sit there for like 3 days. And I was like on the edge of my seat, like, oh, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? And then I guess someone came in and scooped it up instantly because it's gone now. But like, should that card be worth the same as the PSA 9? They're the same card. One just isn't in a slab, right? Like, I don't know. It's $50. Like $50 and you wait like 4 months.
For me, if it's a personal collection card versus like an investment card, I'm not going to flip out about buying a raw card versus a 10. It doesn't matter to me, right? So I see where you're coming from in that aspect. Like the $50 would be like, sweet, I just saved $50 because I'm going to display it in a one touch on my wall, right?
And I think it looks just as good, if not better, than whatever the slab is, right? Because think about like a wall displayed of like just one touches, like just one touch sports cards. They almost look like they're like right next to each other with minimal space in between. So much cleaner than like.
I actually had a discussion with a guy on you. He's got his own YouTube channel, and all he does is bust packs, bust product, and he doesn't he doesn't do what's it called, breaks or anything like that. He just opens product when it comes out. He has it shipped next day mail, so he has it before anyone else does. And he's like, "Hey, let's look at what these cards look like," and da 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 da. But
that's cool.
I was talking to him one night, and I'm like, it'd be cool, like a whole wall, like almost like a wallpaper, just cards. You know what I mean? Like
that would be.
Then you got to actually analyze it and be like, do you want it all one touches so there's like a little bit of space in between, or do you want like let's say a card that's like not super valuable, like let's say this guy right here, like it's a Josh Allen, but it's probably worth like $1 or $2, right? And just put them all side by side and pin them down.
Those cards are so underrated, man. The supernaturals are so underrated. I feel like, yeah, especially if you could. And here we go with the PSA 10. But if you can find one in very good shape, right? Like where the corners aren't like super whiting, the centering is spot on. Like I think those cards are very hard to come by, especially like. So I think grading is more important with paper cards than chrome cards, because with chrome the quality of the print should be better anyway. Versus like a paper card, now that's where it's hard to get everything perfect. So like a Gem Mint 10 paper card, I personally put more value into that than a Gem Mint 10 optic hollow, whatever. Like that should be a Gem Mint 10. Like it's better quality paper, and they release it later than the paper product, right? So you should be spending more time making sure all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted.
If I get kicked off of here, guys, there's an insane lightning storm going on,
That
right?
was lightning?
Yeah, this is the lightning and thunder like going off all around me right now, in Tampa.
Oh my
So
God.
lightning capital of the world. Just you guys keep the show going. If you guys have got a great conversation going.
I don't typically. I know that. You have a bunch of like really nice JTs and some low serial numbered cards. I don't typically go like down to the top 5. I have a couple like of 2s. I have a couple of 5s, but they're not of like top guys, right? They're all prospect cards that I'm like hoping bust out and I can make a nice flip on them. But every once in a while you come across a card and you're like, that is just something that I'm going to buy and keep. And I showed Andy this already, and I've been kind of waiting until this week to show it. So this is like a little bit of a reveal. Some of you guys won't think this is a big deal. To me, it is. It's a National Treasures 1 of 1. Mike Ditka celebrating the 85 Bears Super Bowl. I don't know if you see that?
That is a sick card. You have to spill the beans. What did you pay for it?
I thought it was going to go for a lot higher. I'm not going to lie. I paid $145.
Dude, that's a steal. That's
a
steal.
Where's the sniper? Hit him with the sniper sound.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to go for like 400.
Hold it up.
I didn't even know a card like that existed, dude. Like I'm telling you, if there's more eyes on a card,
and you can't really see like
$350-400.
There's like a metallic shimmer like between the white and the blue.
It's platinum. It's platinum shimmer.
I see the 1 of 1.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, dude. And it has the acetate finish, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I was like just mind blown that I picked that up, and I'm happy, man. And honestly, there was a couple auctions ending after it, so I felt obligated to buy something else because I got such a good deal on it. And I showed Andy this one too. My dad's a big Vikings fan. I picked up this Chris Carter National Treasures.
Your dad's a Vikings fan?
Yeah.
All right. I have something that I can most definitely send him. Does he like Dante Culpepper?
He does.
I got something fun that I think will make him smile. I'll send it your way.
Nice, man.
I'm going out to ship Andy stuff tomorrow anyway, so I'll do a little 2-for-1 before they shut it down for the 4th of July.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I appreciate that.
Oh, I just made a deal with Raven Invest, actually. I'll give him a little shout out. That Trevor Lawrence Silver that's been giving him a hard time, I'm going to give a crack at it with Kurt's card care kit, see if I can get rid of some of the sticky substance he had on there or whatever. And I traded him like a bunch of Mosaic Lamars that I had, and like this cool like player worn patch that was like kind of dirtied up actually. So like I don't know, it was might be game used. Who am I to say? But it was a triple patch of, what was it, Lamar, J.K. Dobbins, and Marquise Brown out of 50. It was like a Zenith card, like a little summit thing, had like this cool shine to it. I think it was a win-win trade because I want a Trevor Lawrence card. I was a fan of him in Clemson, even though it's like a Jaguars uniform, which is like whatever, disgusting. But yeah, like I want one Trevor Lawrence card because I do like him a lot, though I think they're gonna be terrible this year. Yeah,
probably.
It's just the circumstance. Their team isn't that good, and the division's pretty good.
Second-year QBs have a decent schedule, and that actually kind of parlays with one of the questions that we have about strength of schedule in the last year's quarterback class.
So there's someone that I really like for week 1.
What do you like?
Devontae Parker. Though here's the problem, right? Like no Patriots fan is going to buy Dolphins rookie cards. I don't think they would, right? So you would have to be flipping to like a dealer or someone in between. So you would have to be buying him really cheap. But yeah, Devontae Parker, week 1, revenge game. You heard it here first.
I can totally see that. You know, I bought some Russell Gage, and he's another interdivision guy who's Tom Brady specifically called and said, we want you on Tampa. You know, so Tom Brady's going to use him early in the season when Chris Godwin's out. But I looking at this Falcons rookie ticket auto, like, man, dude, I do not like this. Like, it's not even on my wall or anything. Dude. Like, no, I want to just sell it. But like, how do I get a Russell Gage in Tampa uniform? How do you get a Devontae Parker?
Like if
you won't have one for like a year, probably.
If you can make like a custom card of him in a Patriots uniform and wait for week 1 to hit, he scores 2 touchdowns against his old team, I bet you could sell that card for like $50.
You
know, maybe even 100. Who knows? You just put it up for a 7-day auction and you let it ride. Because Panini's not printing any Devontae Parker Patriots stuff until next offseason. So you won't even have the chance to flip his week 1 stuff unless you go the Dolphins route. And I don't know.
You know what's the interesting thing about the Dolphins and Patriots, though? And there's a similar dynamic with the Saints and Buccaneers. Like, if you looked at them on paper and you look at their record, like, they should beat them every time, right? But even when the Dolphins were terrible, they always seem to beat the Patriots, or at least make it a close game. And you could say the same about the Saints and Bucks. You know, there's games where they were like heavily favored and they end up losing to the Saints like pretty often. So a lot of that comes down to the way the teams know each other and stuff like that. And those two teams always have amazing games with each other.
First year head coach, though. I don't know how familiar, you know, Mike McDaniels is with Bill Belichick. You know, I'm sure he studied the tape, but I don't know, man. Bill's a different animal.
It's going to be a grinder, man. If you think about the way both those guys like to play football, I mean, it's going to be interesting. But I will say I think Miami's got the edge in terms of their defensive secondary. They've got a solid defensive roster, and their secondary is pretty good, man. So I think from that standpoint, they could box the wide receivers in. Devontae Parker, I don't know. I'm on the other side because he's always been that guy that's got so much raw freaking talent, and he's just lazy. Like, I feel like that's Denzel Mims too, you know?
No, he wasn't lazy. He just didn't have anyone who could throw him the football. Let's be real. Devontae Parker, name me one of his quarterbacks. That was
Ryan Tannehill?
That's where I was going with that.
That was decent. And Ryan Tannehill was not good on the Dolphins. He like reemerged on the Titans.
That's fair.
Yeah, like, you know, and
Ryan
even then, like, you know, Fitzmagic. Yeah, I mean, he definitely.
That was kind of when Devontae Parker started to pop. That's when he became kind of fantasy relevant there for a year.
I have no you know, love for the Dolphins like more than any other team. In fact, I think they're going to underperform the preseason hype that they have going into the year with. But all that being said, Devontae Parker was a dog. And they just, I don't know. They didn't have a guy that could throw him the ball like that. Like, I bet you know.
Here's the real
Devontae. He's going to score. I'd be willing to take not any wager, but, you know, a reasonable wager that he scores at least one touchdown week 1.
Okay,
right?
I get the revenge narrative, but it's not as strong as it is for Russell Wilson against the Seahawks.
That's another
Monday
one.
Night Football week 1.
That's another big one.
But check it out, okay?
I'm sure week 1 you'll find some takers in the Discord for some kind of like, you know, friendly wager or something.
If we can get like, look, we're getting pictures like this of the real Devontae Adams, already in Raiders uniform. Raiders helmet, like,
great job though.
You like that? You like how that's segue?
Yeah, no. I was saying that picture is definitely photoshopped, but whoever did it did like a great job.
Why can't you? I can remove the background of this picture on stream in less than 2 minutes, and then like all you have to do, like, I don't know how to add all the prism and cardstock and all that, but if somebody out there knows how to do that, they could literally make eBay one of ones right now, and it's unlicensed. But I mean, like, this is something that any of these companies could
What
do.
about the one to the right? Oh, is that an illustration? Never mind.
Yeah, this is an illustration, but
what about the one on the far left, like with him actually holding a number 17 Devontae Adams jersey?
It's like, already in a portrait format. I love the
portrait format. Suit is sick. He's got the Raiders emblem on the inside, holding 17 Adams on the back. You can replace the background with something cool.
Like Panini can't go and grab this, remove the background, and put it on an instant card and serial number it. It would be so hot. It would be such a hot product.
They could, but
they've really dropped the ball.
CEO of Panini, but they probably don't have any printing capacity. If I had to take a guess, they've definitely thought of this. But like, when do you sneak in printing that between like Select and the next product that's like a week after the release date? Like, that thing is running nonstop.
But do you really think maybe they have thought of it? I don't think maybe they have, because think about how thin they're spread. I mean, they're printing soccer, they're printing football, they're printing baseball. And it's not that they don't have the printing capacity. Maybe they don't have the creative capacity because they're just firing on all cylinders on what they know works already, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's true. When you have like your design team making everything under the umbrella and then like 12 products of each thing.
Do you foresee this as a problem? Because I know LOB Roses actually has made some custom cards. Shout out to LOB here.
I don't think they're gonna sue you. I think it's like a blimp on their radar. There's no way they come after you. If anything, you'll get like a cease and desist letter or something. And then
if you have like a website and you're mass manufacturing, that's different.
Then it's a problem. But like if you're selling it on Instagram, like what's the worst they do? Shut down your account and then you call it a day, or you get like a cease and desist letter that says like if you keep doing this, we'll sue you.
If you guys
no one wants to do litigation. The cost of the lawyers alone will probably be more than how much the person made printing custom cards.
So let's shout out to your buddy here, Sean, on Instagram.
Yeah. It's a she, by the way. But yes, she just sent this over to me. I've been meaning to post it on Instagram, but I'm super lazy lately.
Let's see what you got. What is that?
My cleats. Little.
That looks nice.
Yeah, this is definitely like, it's supposed to kind of mimic the whole immaculate look, but got a little cracked ice going to it. Yeah, I'll support her work all day. She doesn't mean custom cards.
Have you taken that card out and like held it raw? Is it like a thick card stock? And
you want me to drop it too, Andy?
Not unless like I do want you to talk about the company that you have graded some cards with.
We'll get to that, but so I don't know if you can see that, but it's got the thickness of a card. Thick. It's like layered, right? This is the back. She signs each one. Every card is a 101. It's got like a glossy finish to it, and then cracked ice.
I just think it's so fascinating because it is a serious hole that card manufacturers have,
and I don't like bother to ask her because. I don't know. If I can figure it out, cool. But she makes these so nice that I have no problem paying her, her what she asks to make them. It's pretty reasonable, given what I pay for other cards.
If you guys have seen any streams of people going to card shows and stuff like that, there's actually a lot of vendors now that are all custom cards. And that's something a year ago I didn't see any of. So I think that's a big thing coming up, because people realize that it fits into the collectability niche, doesn't have to be a flip type thing. Now down the road that could become part of it, right? But I think right now people are like, this fits the bill for something that I would want to display. We always talk about like cards as being art in a way, which it is, and
for sure.
That you could literally have cards made. There's people that will make a custom card based on what you want, the player, the pose, the background color, whatever.
There's a big market for it, man. Like Russell Gage goes off week 1. I would pay somebody to make me a nice card like that. I'd be willing to pay some primo dollars for something like that,
And why not? It will go on the wall, and it would probably be the best Russell Gage card you have. Like, better than anything Panini could manufacture. Like, I think, like, I don't know. I have another one of hers that I sent out to get signed by my buddy in Indy. So hopefully he can pull through for me and get that signature. That would be pretty sweet. Because, it goes with, like, the Midnight signature set that I have from Panini Black. It's kind of buried at the moment. Otherwise, I would pull it out. But, yeah, that's probably my most underrated set, Panini Black, I think.
Shout out to Shelly. I'm drinking a Cigar City Brewing Frostproof Belgian-style white ale tonight. It's pretty good, pretty tasty. Steve's got his water. Sean's had himself a beer. Bringing it back to current day, do you have any Niners cards in your collection?
Oh, Messiah, I do have some Niners actually. This is probably the most noteworthy Niner I own. Brandon Ayuk, little Midnight National Treasures RPA.
Nice.
It's a sick card, man. Like, my lighting does not do this thing enough justice, people. If you can get yourself one of these for cheap, do it, because they are the sickest cards you'll ever see. They have, like, that platinum finish going around, on-card auto for 2020 at least. I don't know about 2021. And it's numbered to 20. The patch choice could be better, in my opinion. Like, let me show you another example. CeeDee Lamb, 1 out of 20. Nice. And they just put a napkin. Like, the disrespect. I mean, it works because of the whole black and white theme, so I wasn't upset with it, right? But, like, come on, man. You couldn't get, like, an 8 in there or something. Like, something. If you're going to put no specific game or event or anything, it shouldn't matter. You should put a cool patch. That's just my thoughts. Like, if you're going to make it not specific game, make it a cool patch.
It's not limited. Like, just go get another jersey from Fanatics and cut it up and put it
Cut it up, man. Cut it up. Don't be cheap about it.
That should be a new rule.
They're charging an arm and a leg, so you may as well, give the people what they want. If you're not gonna, I don't know, whatever.
What do you guys think about this though? Like, there's already been an uptick in, like, the amount of relic cards that have patches on them, and there's been, like, a massive uptick from, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, getting an autograph card was, like, monumental. Right now, it's like, there's 2 in every hobby box. It's like, it's not that rare anymore. You can go on eBay and, like, every 3 listings, it seems like there's an auto card, right, or a relic card. So it's, if you start putting, now you're changing it to adding, like, exquisite patches on more of these cards. Like, at what point, how is it going to be? Is it going to devalue them even further? You know what I mean? Like, should they maybe take it down a couple notches in how many relics go out, but then enhance the relics that exist?
Yes.
I think that would be a better route, honestly.
100%. I was misunderstanding where you were going with that for a sec, but I agree with you 100%. Take away the not player worn, whatever. Bump up the design on the card, right? Print the card as is. Maybe throw an autograph on it, sticker, on card, whatever you want. But, like, bring in some game used relics. Get rid of the player worn. Either tell me it's not from anything or it was worn in a game. Like, I don't know what player worn is supposed to mean, right? Because some of them look filthy. So does that mean he wore it in a game? Does that mean he wore it while he was taking a shower? They
could have draped it over him while he was napping on the team bus, honestly.
Right. Which I'll understand that. If I see, like, a plain white patch in a card, awesome. Like, makes total sense to me. This is where they were going with it. But yeah, I don't know. Some clarity would be awesome. Like you said it earlier, Steve. Imagine, like, if it said game used and then it told you the game, or it told you, I don't know, like, it was this preseason game. I would even take that. Like, beats nothing, right? Like, it gives me some sort of explanation, closure, I guess, from where this patch came from.
I think there's a place for just common relic cards, right?
No, this is where your patches came from right here.
Yeah, I love that photo.
I saw
man.
that picture. All right, but here's the thing, right? The only place I'll give them slack for this is if like it's a rookie card and they take like those jerseys and they cut them up and they put them in for rookie cards. Anything after rookie year should be game used. Like hypothetically speaking, you should be able to get a couple, maybe 2-3 jerseys from said player and cut them up and turn them into relic cards.
Andy, someone asked about me showing some of my favorites. I don't have all my stuff nearby, but I got a couple of mail cards I got in the mail that were my favorites.
Let's see the mail day.
A couple of my favorites
it,
that I picked
brother.
up this week that I wouldn't mind sharing.
Let's see it.
And we talked about this guy earlier in the show.
Zach Wilson?
Lamar. Select
trying to
silver,
get- I'm trying
and
to
it's a
get
9.5. It's pretty nice.
I need some more Lamar. What do you mean?
I was
pretty
going
nice?
with the headband, thinking it was
Who's
Zach
that?
Wilson.
I-
nice.
That'll be next week. I did pick up a nice Zach Wilson this week. It hasn't got here yet, though. Here's a guy, and you know what? We were just talking about nice patches. How about this nice patch? A Brandon
Nice.
Cooks.
On the,
Spectra.
wow. Yeah,
You guys know I'm big on Spectra.
I love Spectra. I don't buy enough of it. Maybe because I don't have enough eBay alerts for Spectra product. That might be my own fault.
This is a grading candidate, and I'm actually really excited about how much I picked this up for. I do love defensive players. You guys might not know that about me. I know Carter does as well. But Nick Bosa, teal velocity. And it makes that lightning crack just look even better, honestly.
That's sick.
And though they're not serial number, they are very rare. So I don't know if you guys have looked those up, but teal velocity, very nice card.
So I know you love the not serial numbered but short print. I want at the very least pack odds. So like I ripped a pack of or a hobby box of 1996 Fleer metal, right? Every time I pulled a cool insert, I could flip to the side of the box and it would tell me this card is one of 30 packs, one of 50 packs, one of 200 packs. So you have like a general idea of how rare it is. With stuff like that, I feel like it's like almost a guessing game sometimes. So you have to go by eye appeal, and that card looks sick.
You know, Fanatics, I don't know if you guys saw this, but they interviewed the gentleman who's like in charge of Fanatics and handling their trading cards and whatnot. And he already said that they plan to be very transparent on odds for the packs and for the boxes as well.
I'm happy to hear that. But I'm also concerned because I saw the 2012 Keenan Allen Topps card. It was like an RPA, and it was like from not any specific game or event. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know that they were like pulling stuff like that back in 2012. Like totally slipped my mind.
Yeah,
So,
I think we tend to forget that there's like super rare stuff from like 10 years ago because it's mostly probably being like stowed away somewhere, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because if you really think about it, like the kids, I guess that had it in the 2005 range or like what in their late 20s, they might still not even know that they have anything rare yet. Those things might not even hit the market for another 4 or 5 years until what, maybe, I don't know, they clear out their closets and find this stuff and it hits the market then.
That's a great point, man.
Yeah,
Keenan Allen,
think about like what decades or when, right? So like early 2000 stuff, probably stuffed in shelves and attics still. Mid to late 20s guys. I know most of my stuff like early to late, like mid 2000s.
So I've almost seen like this
90s.
like, you know, come full circle to ultra modern day with 2021 Prism is that you have a lot of breakers out there that are posting this product up almost immediately on eBay without even really realizing what the value could get to after the dust settles. And so like I was studying the market extensively today for 2021 Prism. I mean, it varies wildly. Like Trevor Lawrence, silver Prisms going anywhere from like $85 to $185, like just crazy variances. And then the short print photo variations that are in the hangers only. Like, do you think it makes sense that like we could potentially see like this time next year a decrease in the supply because a lot of people are buying those and stashing them in their collection. Like there's certain cards, like you look for Joe Burrow, Herbert today, and those base prisms are now, like, I guess you could put them in a different tier of quarterback class and everything, but still, like the scarcity factor is totally different for even product from a year ago, let alone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago.
You know, one thing about the new prism is you could argue that it's overprinted, and some people have made that argument, and I think maybe there's some validity to it. But at the same time, the checklist is huge. The checklist has way too many old players on it. It has coaches. It has Brock Lesnar. It's got, I want to say it's close to 400. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's 440.
440. So if you think about like what you get, what, 1 silver per hanger, or what is it? 1 silver per whatever it is. It's there's not a lot. The odds are actually pretty low to get a silver prism. So take that set list into consideration, and it's actually pretty hard to get a good player at this point. So I think that actually does help the price. But again, they also added a lot more parallels and stuff like that. But I think it's actually going to help the value because there's more people buying right now than there was 2 years ago.
So I just dropped something in the private chat. This is the latest JT pickup of mine. Waiting for it to get here, but it was a Prism 2021 card, so on topic with what we're talking about. But I haven't really bought any. I bought maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4. Hold on, they're here somewhere.
Well, you dropped it in the private chat. I'm guessing I could share it on screen.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to find the ones that I have with me.
It's gold vinyl numbered out of 5 fireworks. I'm digging the design, man.
So I paid a good amount for this, like probably more than some of his rookie cards. But being that Prism is such an iconic set, right? And I really like this particular insert, fireworks. I don't think they've ever made fireworks before, so this is like the first year they printed fireworks.
They've made fireworks before.
Have they?
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah.
I love how this one looks because I have the cracked ice out of 99, and that one's like all blue. So like the fireworks is in blue, the streaks up the side are in blue. So I'm very interested to see what that one looks like in hand. But it was the first one out of 5. A little extra there.
You're big on numbers, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm big on the serial numbers. I like the 1 out of 5. I have the 1 out of 99 on the same card, so kind of a serial number match, if you will.
Do you have any jersey match numbers?
Oh yes. Oh, do I?
That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
Sean's a numbers guy. Like that's your profession, right? I mean, you work with numbers every day, so it's like
yes. So this is like some of the 2021 Prism I bought. I got this for $5. I was okay paying $5 for it, right? I may never sell it, and I'm okay losing the $5 on this cool card. This is out of 99, and it's 1 out of 99. I would have loved 28 out of 99, but for $25 out the door, I don't know. I'll take the first one.
Got that cracked ice. You're a sucker for the cracked ice finish, man.
I am. I love cracked ice. I think it's my favorite. Recently, this one came in today. This was $7, but it was the silver disco. This is like a retail one where it's like, I don't know how many of these they printed, but I know it's supposed to be short print. So we can hope for the best there. But number match stuff. This is his 2021 Panini Black, but this is number 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Yes, 2 out of 10. The green, and then this is the gold out of 25.
Nice.
But it's numbered 8. So you have the 2 and the 8.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So like that's like one of them. This is the Spectra. I don't know what the variation's called on this, but it's numbered out of 8. And this is numbered 2 out of 8.
Okay.
So like stuff like that, I'm a big fan of. This is his draft class card, numbered 8 out of 28. So like that's like a kind of little jersey number thing going on there. And then probably my favorite jersey number match is this one.
Oh yeah,
Pink
That's
Origin,
nice, man.
numbered 2 out of 8. My favorite.
Not only does that like pink Horizon look really good, but the match with the autograph,
the ink, right?
Yeah.
How many pink autos have like you seen in general? Like
Spectra.
I like this
Spectra's
was like
the
one
only
of the
other
first
set that has them.
that they have like colorful ones like green, orange. Like I've noticed, but you know what the downside is? I've noticed with Spectra is they're stickered colored autos, right? So like this is like pink on card auto, which is like I don't know, extra special to me.
Don't you have a pink Sharpie one in a rare edition slab?
Yeah, that's right here too.
Can you demo rare? Yeah, demo the rare edition slab for the people here. We got a shout out to rare edition.
Shout out rare edition. They're gonna hate me because I've got this card in for like a month now and I haven't posted it on Instagram yet.
No,
but,
show them why their slabs are so important. I hope Michael Ham's still out there because he's brought this up before. Like, if I get a card graded,
why do I like this slab so much?
Yeah,
right. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but Gorilla Glass is what the outside is made of. So very, very durable material. I could drop this right now and I would not be concerned at all for what happens on the inside. That's how confident I am in this slab. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped this one, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It doesn't really like shake around too much. Yeah, I don't know.
You saw it here. This man just dropped a very rare,
a very
only
rare
on Football Card Quest.
So, and they have the quad grades on the back. This is a little chip that if you tap your phone to, it'll just take you to the pop report. That's a little QR code that'll do the same thing. And from what I understand, their grading is very AI oriented. So I'm going to send you the pop report for this card, Andy. I don't know if you want to like share it with the people on your screen.
Yeah, no, absolutely will, because their grading format and the report
pop
that they
report
give you
is
back,
like
it's
the cherry
insane.
on top. And so this is a rubber bumper for anyone wondering. It really looks and feels like an iPhone. You know, without the little rubber encasing, it's probably a lot more handheld, easier to hold. But I like to keep the rubber casing on in case Andy wants me to drop it from time to time. And
hey, safety first, man. Safety first. Keep the rubber on
first. But yeah, I don't know. The slab is like absolutely see-through. Their grading is super detailed, and I have a PSA slab. I don't know. You tell me what looks better, this or this. Like, you know, I think there's no competition.
Yeah. From a collection standpoint, plus, like, this is why I want to make sure Mike Ham was on, because the thing is, like, from a collector's standpoint, getting the card grading should protect it first and foremost, and that's what this slab is doing. Gorilla Glass, like,
I can't
waterproof.
I don't even know
said
how
it was
to crack
waterproof,
these.
right?
It is waterproof, so they have. I'm not going to test that for you guys, but I saw on their page that you could just drop this in water, and they had like a little pH strip in there for like if water hits it, and it just stayed the same color. No water got in there. That was kind of like the moment where I was like, oh wow, like I've never heard of rare edition. Let me do a little bit more research, and then the slab kind of sold me on it. And then if you look at the pop report, that's like the cherry on top. And I think it looks better with like refractor cards, personally. We can like zoom in on this later, but like the shine off this one is like,
yeah, because they do have a refraction to that rare edition logo at the top left. You got the pop report. I mean, it's incredibly detailed whenever you sent me this, because I love the feedback, because oftentimes we're wondering, why did CSG give us a 9? Why do we get this here and there? And here they do that.
The corners, I don't know. Are you going to see the pictures on those if you go down a little further? Yeah, look at
Yeah.
this.
I mean, look at the.
Oh wow.
So they give you the corner scans, and then the edges too are like real detailed, where like it's like a laser scan all the way through. It's like good stuff, man. I'm a big fan of how they do it, and their turnaround time. Oh my God, 3 weeks door to door. 3 weeks. I shipped it there to received on my doorstep in a slab. And the presentation is like 99% of it. It comes in this little black box inside like a little gold pack that you then have to open like you're opening a pack of cards so like you could see your grade. And it's very fun and addicting. Like I want to keep sending them more cards. But
$30 a card, right?
It is $30 a card. So like comparable with like
Yeah.
the cheapest out there. I think SGC is like $25 a card. So pretty comparable. And SGC doesn't do this for you on the pop report. I don't even know if they give you like a real pop report.
Well, they give you there's a population report like PSA, but it doesn't give you.
Yeah.
They also have their professional photographs they give you, but
So
it's
those little
nothing like
laser
this.
dots, I think, is like all the whiting area or whatever, like on my actual card, like those white dots.
That's
Yeah.
pretty advanced. Like I will say this, like I've on our most
It's
recent
messed up though,
I had-
man. That card should have gotten a 10. I'm kidding.
No, like I think everyone that's submitted at least 15 cards or more has gotten one back that they disagreed with. And unfortunately, like sometimes they'll slap you with a 7 or an 8, and you're like, why? Right. And you'll see the scan, and the scan looks great, and you just can't put rhyme and reason to it. But I do like that because I mean they're literally showing you not just the rating that you got, but like the actual in-depth detail.
For sure. And like the Gorilla Glass is like so clear. Like one of my lowest grade from them was this one. And I kind of regret sending it because this was an SGC 9. And I sent it to them and it got an 8, right? And it's because the surface was a 7. And I looked and like there's like a scratch right below his knee that's like going to be very hard to see on here, but like it's there. And then on the back you have print lines. And they're very strict. They gave me a 7. And like, did I think it was a 7 looking at it? No, I thought maybe like, oh, like surface is an 8, but everything else is like 9.5, 9.5, 9. Maybe they'll let it slide, give me a 9. But no, they're very, very, very strict, which I guess can be good or bad. It depends. Like for collectible purposes, I would rather have a strict grade than everybody get 10s, because then the 10 means something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot, dude, I can only imagine if you get a 10 with them, at that point, it's literally flawless under the most fine-tooth microscope. Like, I mean, it's insane.
I'm convinced that most of their grading is probably done with a robot, with like a final look over with like a person making sure that whatever the AI gave the card is accurate. But yeah, they strict. They strict as hell. Yeah.
So I have a question here. So going back to back to running back conversation, like you obviously seem to be good at predicting future running back success. Sean, you are the GOAT, Jonathan Taylor collector, and you've been buying into him since before he was the great one. What's your prediction this year for Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey? Or should we be selling Derrick Henry CMC?
So I was selling, like I was a sell rating on Derrick Henry, but then the Pivot podcast is one that I listened to, and they had Eric Dickerson on there, who is one of my favorites, right? And I noticed that he mentioned Derrick Henry as being one of the only like true running backs that he could resonate with. Now, like at that point, I was like, "What is going on here?" Like, as far as I remember, Eric Dickerson was like super quick, but I don't remember him as someone who was like running people over, right? So I looked into it a little bit more. He was like 6'3", 225 or something like that. He was a big boy for back in the day. especially at running back, where most of your guys are like 5'11", 6 foot. Like 6'3" for a running back is big. So, and then I looked up Derrick Henry's height and weight, and he's also 6'3". So I was like, coincidence? I think not. Like Eric Dickerson loves big running backs, but if you, I guess, look at the numbers, big running backs are more durable. So 6'3". Granted, he had the foot injury. I think he's going to be the most durable running back we've probably seen, like in our generation. Is he going to put up monstrous numbers? I don't know. I think losing AJ Brown was a big deal. And I don't know if you can get away with.
And
running
now
the
they
football.
damn near lost their draft pick in Treylon Burks. The guy can't breathe.
He can't breathe. He can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
I don't know how big of a concern that is. Maybe it is bigger than I think, but I think Treylon Burks will be all right. But
they've gotten to the point of like
football.
They've gotten to the point of like there's like articles published about the pollen in Tennessee this time of the year.
That's
and how
crazy,
he's
bro.
and how in college
they're doing him very dirty, by the way. I'm sure this guy has like some allergies and he's having a hard time practicing, and like they're just blowing this out of proportion massively because it's NFL news. And what else are they going to talk about in Tennessee, no less?
Yeah.
I don't know. My take on that is like he didn't just start playing football, right? If he had some kind of medical condition, he's probably had it. Like if it was asthma or if it was allergies, like this is probably isn't the first time this has occurred, right? So I think that it's like you said, it's a lot of smoke. It's all smoke, you know?
Yeah, it's all smoke. Yeah, I agree. But to harp on that point, how do you run the ball 30 times with like no real passing threat?
Well, you create the passing game because of the run, right? Like, and that's kind of the way that they operate because they're a run first team. They have to lean on the run, although they have Robert Woods, who, if he could stay healthy, could have a pretty decent year. But the run does create a bit of a passing game. Do they have a good passing game? I'm not sure because they lost a superstar, but they gained like maybe a superstar and a rookie, and they gained like a above average replacement with Robert Woods.
I feel like Derrick Henry is a sell short term, but he's like that one guy. It's like, man, if I want to have exposure to a guy throughout the season, it's Derrick Henry again. Jonathan Taylor's another one, you know.
Who was the last great Tennessee running back? I think I know the answer to this.
Eddie George?
Yes. Yeah, Eddie George, right? I think like you could like Titans fans still collect Eddie George. And I think if Derrick Henry has another year or two where he puts up the numbers he did put up, he's a lock to be a Titan staple like forever. I think he might already be. But, you know, maybe 1 or 2 more years you really put the nail in the coffin as like he's the greatest, if not one of, if not the greatest Titans running back. So long term, yeah, well, I mean, you know, like he's kind of iconic. He was a monster at Alabama. I don't know, 1 foot injury. I can't count him out. So yeah, I'm flopping on this one. I am on board. If you have Henry, I say hold unless you like find an opportunity to get out for a profit. Sure, take it. But yeah, like the downside probably isn't as great as some people think, given that he is going to be the entirety of that offense this year. And
now, what about Christian McCaffrey? Now, what about Christian McCaffrey? Because he's like almost 2 years younger than Henry.
I ride with the Panthers.
Really?
I have some McCaffrey exposure. Let me give you a better look. So this is his Origins rookie auto, numbered 22 out of 25, jersey match.
Nice.
So this card is gorgeous. I love like the little like galactic little explosion thing going on. I believe this is like the gold variant, obviously with the ink and everything, but like with the background being yellow and all. I don't know when Origins was first printed. I don't know, maybe you guys might know off the top of your heads, but they never had rookie cards at first. So like they didn't write like the rookie card logo on there, if I'm not mistaken, like in the earlier years. But that is his rookie card. So,
are you buying any Travis Etienne?
I wish. I think his prices are too high for like not having seen the guy touch the field at all ever.
Well,
You know?
I mean, we saw him in Clemson, dude. He was a freaking
What
badass.
does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. The college to NFL comparison isn't totally justifiable always, right? Like you go from playing with like college kids, guys that are like 18 to 22 range, to now you're playing with grown men who are like 20s, 30s.
That's where sports analytics comes in.
That's true, but like I guess some of it comes down to eye tests, right? And like, all right, so like Tua, right? I think it's safe to say like that hip injury made him a lesser player than he was in college. Doesn't mean he's not going to be great. Definitely not as good as he was his last year at Alabama, right? Like I think that's pretty fair to say. So I think the same applies to like all positions across the board. Like after an injury, you don't know what a guy looks like. You really don't. You have to hope for the best. And some guys, like based on the injury, are like better predictions than others. Like Derrick Henry had a lot of time off with that foot injury, so I think he'll be okay. But yeah, like Travis Etienne has never played a single down in the NFL. He could be the next Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and you don't even know.
Well, that's not good. We don't want him to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Well, I'm not saying I wanted to either. I'm just saying, like, I tried going for one of his rookie autos the other day, and I think, like, I got outbid up to, like, $65, $70, and I was like, where is the upside? Like, you just bid it all the way up to, like, all the upside. Like, if you wanted to sell that card, now you have to sell it for $100 on eBay to, like, walk away with your teeth, basically, right? Like, I don't know. At a certain point, it just doesn't make sense. Even though I really like the player, if I can't find like a card I like, and I'm also not just gonna buy any card for the sake of like getting exposure to a guy. I need it to be something oomph, you know, like
yeah.
Because if I get stuck with it, I need to be able to be okay PCing the card after the fact.
Yeah, it's not Jonathan Taylor.
No, like okay,
Not yet, right?
So Kyler Murray's rookie cards are really expensive. So I bought this insert auto from 2021 Panini Black.
I like it.
Card. Number 2 out of 5. Super scarce. On card auto. I love it. Great condition overall. The corners are sharp and everything. I think I paid close to $500, if not like after fees and everything, just slightly over that 500 number. The next closest one on sale on eBay, I think, is like $1,000. So let's just say like we move it for $657, or worst case, I'm stuck with it. It's a beautiful card, and I like Kyler Murray, so I have no problem being stuck with that card. Maybe not for like the amount I paid for it, but I think he's gonna work out. So I can't stress too much about the semantics of like what I paid. Sometimes I do that. I overpay for some cards, but like my expectation is that they'll outperform what I think this card is worth, and it's super scarce. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like at that point you just got to list it and see if it moves, right?
Yeah, man. You're buying the mean mug. You're buying the mean mug. You sure you want to buy the mean mug?
Yeah, some stuff it's worth it. Other stuff I would say don't do it, right? Like yeah, I don't know. Find what you love collecting and collect that unapologetically.
That's Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He's not apologetic at all, man. That's Kyler Murray.
That is Kyler Murray. But he's not lazy. He's not lazy.
No, I can't say that about him. No, I cannot.
No.
Steve, you had some serious stuff brewing on your mind a minute ago.
What are we still on the same topic here with the running backs?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, what's on your mind, man?
I was just looking at some numbers. I mean, we were talking about the number of pass attempts and whatnot for quarterbacks like Tannehill. So Derrick Henry came back. What was it? The last couple weeks, towards the end of the year last year, he was hurt. Did
it
he
the playoff
game? The last
playoff
few games
game,
or was it the playoffs?
I think it was the playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it was the playoff game.
So
I had him in a league. I picked him up and I stashed him, hoping he would come back week 18 for me. He did not, and waste of a roster spot. Long story short.
The last 3 games, it doesn't specify if it was playoffs or regular season. It just says last 3 games. The Titans only passed 24 attempts. So like you realize that they are going to run, like they are going to base their entire strategy on running
On D. Henry.
and
hell
developing
yeah.
the passing game around the run, not the other way around. Whereas you have guys like Drew Brees when he was in his prime, or Brady in his prime, like they developed a run potential because they had to defend the pass almost every down. Essentially, it was the exact opposite of what Tennessee has to do, and the opposite of what anyone who plays the Niners or Eagles has to do. Right? They're gonna pass very infrequently, and they're gonna run at a high clip. So, but I think that actually everyone expects the Eagles to do that again this year. From everything I've heard about Jalen Hurts in the passing game, I think he actually attempts quite a few more passes this year than last.
Bold prediction. I like
I'm
it,
all
man.
for it. I'm all for it. I hope it plays out like that. I do.
Pete
have
Carroll-
I'd love to
Jalen
see him
Hurts
develop
exposure.
into like a McNabb type quarterback, you know?
Yeah.
I love me some McNabb. He's someone that I don't think gets enough love. You guys don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's got enough in there to squeak in one day. I don't think he's like a first ballot, second ballot. I think he's gonna be on there for a while till they like run out of names to throw in, and then they'll be like, oh, what about Donovan McNabb? But
He could
yeah, I
probably
don't
do
know.
some voiceovers too. Like now, like he make himself relevant. I'm just saying.
He
Like I'm
made
being
a
serious.
huge mistake not getting into like doing announcing or anything. I
Yes,
think if he
yes.
did do announcing after the NFL, he probably would have gotten into the
He had
Hall
that
of
deep
Fame.
radio voice, man. He would have been great.
Yeah.
Like this whole Brady on Fox for $350 million. I don't know how it's gonna work out. Like Brady's just I don't see him as like a Fox guy. But
Brady should have went the Jordan route and just like disappeared from the game or whatever, and then just been like the GOAT, you know, like everyone's like, oh Tom, but like I don't know, like you don't see Jordan commentating games, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but
just, that doesn't happen.
Jordan's
He
got his
owns
hands
the
in so
Bobcats.
much other stuff, though. Jordan's got sneaker line. He owns an NBA team. You know, he likes playing golf. Like if there was 8 days in a week, he'd probably play golf all 8 days. You know, I mean, so
100%.
yeah,
what
he's
does
got
Tom
play
Brady?
his
I mean,
golf
Tom
with
Brady's got his
that.
clothing line, his sports supplements. He's got like some kind of avocado ice cream, right? I mean, the
Whatever,
avocado
dude.
avocado ice
tequila.
cream. There it is.
Whatever. Not my GOAT, all right? Not my GOAT.
But the one thing about Brady is
My
that
GOAT wears 18, all right? My GOAT wears 18.
That's right, man. We got
Oh,
Peyton
yeah.
Manning.
I
Peyton
think
Manning.
if Brady could decide to stop aging, he would never quit football, honestly. And I think that's just kind of the thing. Like he doesn't. If it was up to him, he would never quit. So that the closest he could get to continuing playing is, I guess, to be part of the game in some other way, I guess.
He's probably plotting like an assassination of his entire family so he could play football forever. That guy's sick in the head, dude. He retired for like 3 days, and he's like, you know what? Changed my mind. I can't do it anymore. These people at home, they talk too much. He's like, I need to get back in the gym.
Sean, is the only way to watch Monday Night Football now through the Manning cast?
That's the only way I watch it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but first of all, after the Manning cast started, I'm a huge Eli Manning fan. Like, Eli Manning just does it for me, whether it be like the double birds to the Eagles fans. I thought that was hysterical. I was cracking up when he did that on live, like, television. And, yeah, I don't know, man. There's just something about how, like, chaotically organized they are. Where, like, you know, 1 minute it looks like an organized television show. The next minute they're just rambling about whatever, or one of them drops out of the call or something. Like, I don't know. It looks so unorganized. I love it. Like, it's just, like, very raw almost.
Do you
And I don't
think
think you get that with Monday Night Football ever.
Do you think Tom Brady occasionally has a nightmare about Eli Manning?
Oh, yeah, all the time, dude. Are you kidding me? He probably, like, I mean, if we really think about it, he would have, 9 Super Bowls if Eli Manning didn't exist?
Yeah.
9 Super Bowls, working on his 10th right now. We'd be talking about a guy that's going on 10 rings. That's, you know,
Insane. It's almost
And
run
he-
out of fingers.
and he lost to like Mr. Potato Head. It's crazy.
All right. A real world 2022 topic here. JP wants to know who has more rushing yards and rushing touchdowns next season, Trey Lance or Jalen Hurts? We were just talking about Hurts. You talking about him throwing more, so maybe that's
Here's the
Trey
thing with-
Lance.
The thing with this question is
That's
Jalen
tough.
Hurts is for sure starting the season as the starting quarterback, whereas Trey Lance is possibly starting the season as the starting quarterback.
He
So
better
that's kind of
start.
I heard good
freaking
things out of
start.
camp, Steve. I heard good things like out of the camp, and the reports
Yeah.
at least coming out of there is
Here's
that
the thing: is if
he meshes with the
Garoppolo
locker room.
if Garoppolo makes a full recovery, they could trade him, right? They definitely could, but they
Yeah.
haven't said that they definitively are either. So that puts things in kind of a little bit of a predicament, right? So let's say
It's
Garoppolo does
compromising.
start the season.
It's a compromising situation. That is for sure.
I think if they both started the season and played an equal amount of games, I think Hurts scores more rushing touchdowns and Lance runs for more yards.
So I was gonna say, I think the Niners are big on like designed run plays, right? Like I think Jalen Hurts runs out of a collapsing pocket for his life and then makes, a scrambling play happen. I think Trey Lance is more like you're gonna see designed runs, like a triple option where he keeps it and rushes for 30 yards. Like, so yeah, I'll give him more yards, and I'm gonna say touchdowns goes to Hurts. Yards to Lance, touchdowns to Hurts.
Same.
I'm on the same boat as Steve. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think the Niners are bigger on running backs taking it in from goal line and in. Like they have like these design bootlegs where maybe Debo will run one, or like I remember Jeff Wilson doing it a bunch with like the reverse jet sweeps or whatever. Like where they'll put like a running back in the slot and then reverse him out for a tutty on the back end, and it's like I don't know.
That's my thing. Like the 49, I was just going to say the 49ers head coach, Kyle Shanahan, is all about the trick plays, right? The reverse jet sweeps, the naked bootlegs. Like, so why? I mean, yes, I want to believe them when they say that Jimmy's being traded. They're cutting ties with him. It's going to happen sometime here in the next month, and Trey Lance is going to start. But it's almost like one of those things you got to see it to believe it.
Andy, we've all been exposed to these lies recently. Remember when they said that there was no way that A.J. Brown gets traded? I mean, that wasn't that long ago. The news cycles tend to numb us to some of these things where we just believe something a coach says because a coach said it. But I'm not buying it. Honestly, I'm not. I mean, he's proven that he can lead that team to a winning record. They have a
Dude,
great
every analyst had the 49ers drafting Mac Jones last year. No way they were drafting Trey Lance. Trey Lance wasn't even in the conversation.
I have a betting ticket for Trey Lance going number 3. I have a ticket with I think I got it at plus 270. I was listening to like the Pat McAfee show, and he goes, my sources say that Trey Lance is going number 3. And I immediately went on my phone and I said, well, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Number 3, Trey Lance, lock it in. 10 minutes after I placed that bet, it was locked. And the line changed to like -1 something, like where he was favored.
Everyone phoned it in.
Shout out to the Pat
Everyone. It was
McAfee
crazy.
show, man.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee, dude.
Shout out.
Love the show. Love the show.
They
man.
are
Good show.
they are very funny on that show. Good watch for anyone who's never
one
seen
day
it.
we'll get like an office and we'll get us all around and we'll just have a Pat McAfee football card show. That's what we do all day.
That would be, dude. Could you imagine this gets that big? Where like we're all just sitting around talking about sports cards for a living. That would be something. I would love to send my managing director a message real quick. Hey,
we got instead of AJ Hawk, it's AJ Dillon on our show.
And Andy, when I said, when we win our best ball sheet,
good.
it's gonna be in the cards for that to happen.
That's awesome, man.
I think AJ Dillon like can happen. I think so. Like we got boots on the ground right now. I think he can get on here sometime soon. I know he's getting married right now. Shout out AJ Dillon. If you're watching this, come on the show. show me some of AJ Dillon collection.
He's on his honeymoon right now, Sean, but I'm sure he's
Oh, you don't think he's watching this on his honeymoon? Why not, dude?
Now that would be a twist that I would be.
Could you imagine he's just like ripping a Prism hobby box like that is his honeymoon?
What if he proposed with a card box, like a box of Prism with a ring in it?
Oh man, I thought it was gonna be like a 1-on-1 AJ Dillon inside. It was like, will you marry me?
I'm taking notes. These are questions I'm gonna ask him when we get him on here.
How did you propose? Did you use a 1-of-1 AJ Dillon to seal the deal? These are the pressing questions.
He is the 1-of-1 AJ Dillon, though.
He is. I've seen him do breaks before where he pulled a Spectra. What was it? I think he pulled a Spectra sticker auto, peeled the sticker off. It was a green sticker, like it was a low pop sticker, and he pulled out a green Sharpie and he signed it on card with the green Sharpie, and then right above it with like a yellow one it was like double auto, and flipped it around. And I was like,
nice.
Why can't we have more NFL player breaks going on? Like, like let's get more guys in here breaking their own cards, signing them like while breaking it. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Check out this comp from Messiah right here. So Trey Lance, he says he'll be like if Mahomes and Lamar had a baby.
Who?
Trey Lance.
Oh, Trey Lance. If
this is going to be Trey Lance's 2022.
That's what the comps say. I mean, dude, there's no way anyone on planet Earth runs like Lamar Jackson. Shout out Lamar Jackson. But yeah, he's one of a kind. I don't think anyone, like maybe Michael Vick is the closest comparison, but I don't even think Mike could run like Lamar can. Like I think Mike Vick had a better arm than Lamar does, but I think Lamar's running ability is like truly like 1-on-1. I don't know if I've seen anyone run quite like this guy.
Here's a little food for thought for you guys, for the chat, for everyone. But how many guys as hyped as he is actually become that good?
Rarely do you ever see any, like when everyone comes together on a unifying opinion, right? Like everyone's on the same page. Usually that page is wrong, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah, so
that's the whole thing is even if he's a good quarterback, it would be hard to imagine his cards sustaining the value they have because they're priced as if he's already as good as they think he is.
Disclaimer though, I know for a fact Messiah bought his rookie tickets for like dirt cheap. Like when I say dirt cheap, like I mean like average wise, he could probably sell one break even on both. That's how good of a price he got it on.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, at the right price.
So you can't hate it.
At the right price, he's still worth getting into. The problem is most of his stuff is just too expensive to get into.
Yeah. So like my take on Trey Lance is if Shanahan can make it work with Jimmy G, he'll find a way to make it work with like a more athletic version. I mean, for crying out loud, they won the AFC Championship game. I think he threw the ball 9 times.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need a quarterback at that point. Like, like clearly the guy draws up plays like none other. But then again, you can argue maybe it was Mike McDaniels. Now he's at the Dolphins. But from what I've read and what I understand, I think Shanahan is like the brains behind it all over there.
I think there's at least a fair chance Garoppolo starts the year. If he does, though, that's going to present a unique buying opportunity for someone that may have wanted to get into some Trey Lance cards but hasn't been able to. Because, I mean, I've looked. When I see one come up, I look, and it's just not the right price for me.
Well, so here's the thing, right? I think you look at it like very rationally speaking and not so much with comps. Like someone probably somewhere along the line overpaid for a Trey Lance rookie ticket auto, and that seemed to have been like the standard for what everything else sells at. So like you'll see one sell for 1,000, and then you won't see another one. Like it'll be like 1,200 or best offer, 1,100 or best offer, and like they're waiting for the 1K offer that will probably, won't come until he plays and is like someone worthwhile, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
The other,
I feel like people are just chasing right now. That's what's going on.
yeah.
Like you're seeing
Well, everyone
of,
wants
like,
to be in on the next big thing, right?
yeah,
Everyone wants
you
to be
missed
in on the
out
next
on
big
Mahomes. You missed out on Burrow the year he was hurt. So now people are chasing Herbert, right? Like, I think every bit of success Herbert has is already priced into his cards. Not every bit.
There's still room,
Not
there
every bit,
actually
but
is
like,
still some room to grow. Until Mahomes cards take a slight dip, you'll see Herbert cards continue to go up, and they'll actually take one more good leap if KC doesn't play well this year, which they might not.
I'm like exposed to everyone on the Chargers except Herbert. So I hope it all works out, because if he's playing well, that means the team is playing well, and odds are the Joey Bosa card I have and the Mike Williams card I have, like those two work out as well, ideally. But yeah, I don't know.
You got to get you some Josh Palmer, man.
I have one on the way, but I feel like it got lost in the mail. I don't know. I'm so sketched out to buy with plain white envelopes. It's like I buy it. It's like Ghost. The tracking is dark until it arrives at my doorstep, and it's like,
Andy, since you mentioned his name, I got a couple eBay snipes if you want me to send them.
Yeah, we missed one, dude. James provided this one earlier. Look, it's encased gold.
That's the same one I sent you earlier in the show.
I'm almost certain I bid on this card. And I think my max bid was like $15 or something like that. And I just missed it.
I just sent you two that end in the next, one of them soon and one of them's in about 40 minutes, but they're way low for where they're going to, where they should end, but not necessarily where they could end.
Like a dang sweater in that one.
Look at that.
Oh, I have that card, I think, for JT, though.
Look at that big old sweater, man.
Yeah, boom. Get it out of there. His sock isn't as cool though, man. There's no yellow in here. It's just black and gray.
No colors, yeah.
But it is out of 10. So I mean, I don't know. I can't really complain too much.
So Andy, here's a question for you. So the Josh Palmer, I don't know, what is that? A sock, I guess.
Yeah, it's
so if
it's
a patch
called patches. That's like the immaculate subset. It's called patches. And I guess they'll have like socks and stuff in there.
So if you have a jersey patch and it's got multiple colors, you guys know that it does spike the value up quite a bit, right? So if you have a sock with like, how many different colors are on there? Like a whole bunch.
3.
Yeah. And you have both sides of the 3 colors. You have the left and the right.
That's a cool sock, man. Way cooler than my sock.
It's like a bowling sock.
What is that? 10 out of 11. Why 11? That's such a weird number.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the 2021 was out of 10. I mean, yes. I guess when you're cutting up like whatever, you may as well make an 11th card.
Andy, I sent you 2. The other one, I don't know if you showed it or not yet. Actually ends in about, there it is, a little shorter. But yeah, number out of 75. I mean, I've actually followed some of his Prism stuff, and it's been going for a good amount of money. I think that the window is not yet closed on Palmer's, but it's definitely getting close.
Yeah, I should probably stop talking about him, huh?
Dude,
there's good buying opportunities, but there's not nearly as many as when we first started talking about him.
I'm killing you, son.
Yeah, you're killing me. I picked up one Josh Palmer card, and it was a Donruss Clearly auto. And the only reason I was 100% okay with it was my max bid was $10. I got bid up to exactly $10 somehow. And then the 93 cents shipping, we're in for like $12 after taxes and everything. So I don't know, low risk, somewhat high reward, I guess. I don't know. I plan on flipping it for like $30. If someone wants that for $30, it's theirs, kind of a thing. I don't know. I like Jalen Guyton more, and I might be the only one who says that. But
we got Bills Mafia in the house. Our man Jay Van Castle, Josh Allen. Would you agree? And I kind of think that Josh Allen's prices now have all the same wins that you just mentioned Herbert having baked into his current values. Like maybe even more so because 2018 is just
more than
inherently
Herbert.
more rare.
I think Josh Allen is more baked in than Herbert, right? I think Herbert has more upside than Josh Allen does, partially because Josh Allen had so much exposure during the offseason. You saw him in like golf tournaments. You saw him all over the media, like doing interviews. He was on Bussin' with the Boys, which is like a Barstool podcast. Like he's a very likable person, and I think someone who's been like bought up quite heavy during the year. I think like anyone who wants Josh Allen has Josh Allen right now. No, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe there is. I think like if you own the right card, there is still upside. But I think like for like his base stuff, I don't know. There's only so much room to grow on stuff like that. Like you said, maybe you sell it for $350. I think right now it's a $300 card. So I don't know how much higher does it go for a base PSA 10. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we're at almost 2 hours here. Give us a bold prediction, Sean. What? Give us a Super Bowl prediction. Let's just
Super Bowl
prediction.
All right. Well, I think the Colts are, but that would be such a cop out if I picked the Colts right now. My bold prediction on who is going to make the Super Bowl, not win it, right? I think the Green Bay Packers finally get over the hump. You see Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl this year with a bunch of no names. He does it with a bunch of no names on offense, obviously aside from his running backs. But like his wide receiving core is like entirely brand new. Bold take, Rodgers, 3-time MVP, makes it to a Super Bowl this year.
He's got to get through Tom Brady. He's got to get through Tom Brady and the Bucs.
I mean, maybe when you guys have Godwin back, it'll be. Yeah, I mean, I think the Colts are going to make.
All right, well, who are they playing?
Like, wholeheartedly.
Who's the Packers playing in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the Colts. They're playing the Colts.
Oh, the Colts. Oh, okay, okay. Wow,
little
man.
double prediction for you. If I get that one right, by the way, like what happens? Do I get like a statue somewhere?
We'll clip this segment out and I'll like edit it to where it's like this crazy music and it's like holy music, you know. We'll put you on a
Colts, Packers. Could you imagine? That would be absolutely insane. Nah, look, like I really think the Raiders could probably make a run this year, like from the AFC. If I'm being unbiased, like take the Colts out of the situation here. Yeah, the Raiders they're an interesting team. What was it, last 2 years? The team whose home stadium it was also happened to play in the Super Bowl.
That's very true.
Can we go 3 for 3?
Wait. It's in Vegas? The Super Bowl's in Vegas this year? Oh,
can we go 3 for 3?
Oh no. You just called it, man. This might be
might be
onto something, man.
I don't know. I mean, if it happens 3 times in a row, I know the NFL is rigged, and then I'll be heartbroken. So I hope it doesn't happen like that. But yeah. I don't know.
Because it's like, what other city would
the motivation of playing at home for the Super Bowl that I don't know, maybe pushes a team all the way to the end there? It's interesting.
The odds are quite low.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen. It'll be a fun story though.
Yeah.
Good for my Josh Jacobs exposure.
Yes, sir. And all the other Raiders.
Yeah, and everyone under the sun.
Guys, it's been a fantastic show. Sean, so fun having you on here, man. I've had a blast, dude. We'll do this again in the future.
Absolutely.
And appreciate all you guys out there in the chat. I mean, if you are not subscribed to this channel, we get down. We talk about some serious football card action on this channel. It's all football cards all day. We got Gabe Davis on the channel, AJ Dillon. I mean, it's like, guys, what are you doing? Fix your life. Subscribe right now, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Later, guys.
Peace, y'all.
See you next week.